Welcome to part 2 of wedding planning. This will be a random compilation again of my thoughts and just practical actions that I'm taking to prepare for my wedding. So at the point of filming this, we are actually exactly half a year away, which is so insane to say. Like, it's been 5 months so far, so we have what we've done so far plus an extra month to go, and I just know it's going to go fast because if I think about it, winter will be over and then it'll be the hot seasons and then next year and then it's my wedding. So that is crazy. But I wanted to check in and just show you guys the boutonnieres I just bought from my friend. She used all fake flowers for her wedding. So she had these for the groomsmen, and we just thought that since we're doing DIY flowers, it'll be easier if we just had 3 boutonnieres less to do. So now we're just gonna do the parents' boutonnieres plus Bill's and his brothers as the best man. So we have these pink ones that I just bought from her. They were 3 for $15 and they're just really cute. We're gonna have a mixture of flowers for our wedding because they're gonna be very summer mixed floral vibes. So very much like pinks, purples, yellows, greens. So I wasn't too fussed about the fact that these are all pink. I just feel like because they're the groomsmen, as long as they match, it's okay. And it just like means that it's less work for us on the day before, which is when we're doing the florals. In terms of other updates, I've also been getting back the ceremony RSVPs, which were due last week, and I've had to chase up many people. Some of them are still ignoring me right now, which is really frustrating, but like I'm sure they'll get back to me soon. I know to other people, like to normal guests, it's just like so far away, but for us, it's like we need that guest count in order to replace people if they can't make it, because I'm a big believer in hosting events with one guest count in mind, like not letting that change. So because we want 500 at the ceremony, it's like we always need to have that guest list at 500 because some won't turn up on the day and we will end up having probably less than 500 actually be there. So I really want there to be able to just be that one set number. Also because we are going to be providing snacks, and obviously it's easier to just cater for like one group of people and not like say have 350 coming and then have like all this extra snack. And I'm like, no, I'd rather just like stick to that one number. It's always worked for me with hosting my events, and so I really want to do that for this too. So I'm still chasing people up. My Excel actually stopped working on my laptop, so I had to kind of re-download it. So I'm waiting for that to happen before I can update the list again. But otherwise, that is pretty much what we've been focusing on. This week, we are going to be proposing to the final 2 groomsmen. So that's really exciting. And then that way we can kind of get started with the actual wedding party group chat, for example, and just having everyone kind of like virtually meet. Some people have met already, but I think not everyone. Trying to get excited. We do still have those days where we're just really, really stressed. For example, like Bill trying to job hunt still. So things are still up in the air, especially financially. But I feel like in terms of the wedding planning, we're going okay. Like I wouldn't say we're behind, but I wouldn't say we are super, super ahead. Like some people think we are. But I'm kind of just like, I would not feel like I'm ahead until I've actually like done everything, just because I am that kind of person. So I am basically just trying to prioritize my 9-to-5 work and then do wedding planning afterwards. And that's just kind of how I've done it the last few months. And that's been working for me. And as long as little things like my room being clean are done, I feel like I'm being productive as a person. And during this time of engagement, I didn't just want to plan the wedding. Literally, I also wanted to prepare myself as a fiance, as a person, as a Christian, just like have good growth as a person. So definitely been also trying to work on that. And I feel like Bill and my relationship is like pretty strong most days. I feel like we've actually not had too many arguments. I feel like when we have argued whilst engaged, they've been like kind of more intense than usual because there's like so much at stake with like money and just like guest list and whatever. But I feel like otherwise they're not actually that frequent. I feel like we used to do like cat fights a bit more. So I've been grateful for that because I feel like most of the time like our relationship is very stable nowadays. So that's been great. And I am really, really keen on just like continuing to plan the wedding, kind of just want it out of the way. It's still exciting, but I'm getting to that point where it's just like, okay, let's just get there. Let's climb to the finish line. So even though it's still half a year to go, I'm kind of just like, can it please be over so that I don't have to stress about it anymore? And next month is the bridal shower, so I'll be doing a lot of content on that. We've been engaged for 5 months and are going to be engaged for 6 more, and it's been so stressful so far because planning itself is already really hard for the most massive event of your life that you'll ever host, and that in combination with obviously having to take everyone's opinions into consideration, not just yours, and then also just work issues and just being demotivated, trying to be a good friend, good family member, and all that jazz. I feel like I haven't felt this much kind of guilt ever in my whole life. Like I definitely feel shame when I sin, for example, and with certain sins that I struggle with, but that's more towards God. Whereas, for example, these days I'm feeling guilty for not helping my mum in the kitchen, or guilty for not doing more wedding planning, or guilty for not fully always working 24/7. So sometimes life just gets really overwhelming, and this past week as well has been really stressful, and that's on top of already being really stressed and having that coming out in my acne, because I personally only get acne when I'm stressed, and the last time I got it was a couple years ago when I was working at a really toxic workplace. So clearly I don't get it that often in my life, and I'm putting these clips in this video too because I feel like it just really contrasts with how things might seem on social media, or how even some days might be. Like genuinely, you might just have some really good days of your life, but it's not always sunshine and rainbows, and wedding planning definitely hasn't been. When I first got engaged, I thought it was stressful deciding on a date and just organizing with venues, but now that we are deep into it and it's half a year to go, I'm honestly more stressed, which is so insane. At least my acne is starting to fade after about 4 months of having it, but it's still not totally gone, which is a little worrying. I feel like even though I always knew that I would care the most out of everyone about my own wedding, and then Bill, then everyone else, I feel like I still thought that I would be more supported than I am right now. I'm just kind of just at this point where it's like, this is too hard. Like genuinely, everyone's making it harder for me. And I already have so much on my plate because Bill hasn't really been helping too much because he's been looking for his job and also exercising, and it's actually taking up a lot of his time. And I don't want to disturb him too much because obviously applying for jobs for 8 whole months is very stressful and getting rejection after rejection. But I'm trying to do a full-time job, socialize, and wedding plan, so it's kind of intense. I would say there's a lot that's been planned or envisioned, but has it been approved by Bill, or has it been run past the different people who need to be involved for it? No. So that's why it's even more stressful, because in my head, it could be the way it's going to be on the day, but then to Bill, it could be like, let's change this. So there's just so many steps to get to where I need to get to. I think I just expected it to be more relaxed and thought to myself, oh, it's 11 months, like, let's just do it. And I've like envisioned this for so many years, like how hard can it be? And a lot of people who've spoken to me about it as well, when I say I'm stressed about the wedding, have actually also said that to my face. Like they're like, but you've envisioned it for so long, like what is so hard about it? And I'm like, well, the lack of money, it's called a vision for a reason. It's not called an actual execution. So there's so many people who just don't understand, because we're on the younger side. Obviously, a lot of our friends don't have any experience in planning a wedding. So I get that. It's only the people who are now currently married who are like, I totally get how stressful it can be. I hope the planning is going smoothly, etc. So I feel like it's one of those things where when you're in it, it's stressful. I just got home from Bill's, where I was pretty productive doing some wedding planning, so I felt better after, because the way that I counter like being upset about something is just by doing it. And usually I'm upset when I feel like I haven't done enough for something yet, or if I'm just stressed about something that needs to be done. So I was feeling better. Then I got home. Then my mum pulls the line of, oh, it's not just about you, you know, people want to celebrate with like their own friends too, like the parents of the children. What? Woman, I basically said to her, are you guys getting married? No. So I really don't understand what will make parents happy at this point, because genuinely just then I just said, hey, it's a couple months earlier than we expected that you can now invite your friends to the reception. Like, are they not going to be happy now? Like, I genuinely do not understand how parents work sometimes. When we arrived home tonight, we came home to a package of our wedding reception game prize. So we are going to be doing a quiz about us, our wedding, our relationship, our wedding party, just like a trivia quiz during the reception, because I have done that before at one reception, and usually people do it for like their 21st birthdays, for example. So I thought it's really fun. The winner is going to get a Frank Green bottle. It is the cheapest one you can get, which I think was about 25 bucks. I think maybe 30 all up with all the shipping. But we thought that, hey, it's a Frank Green. I only know about this certain trendiness of the Frank Green bottles because of the real trend where girls in the office would chant phrases about themselves. That's the only reason why I've heard of Frank Green, and probably just seen the logo around. I don't really know, but I know that many water bottle enthusiasts such as Bill would know about Frank Green. So he was like, why don't we do Frank Green? Because I was actually thinking of doing some kind of similar water bottle brand, but like a smaller company. But he was like, let's just go for something that's a bit more special. So I'm heading to the floral markets with Chris and Rebecca, and we are going to be doing some floral arranging. So they were going to do it for fun,
and wanted to invite some friends along, and they invited Bill and I, but Bill has a family event to go to. So for us, I was kind of just like, look, I'm feeling pretty unconfident with the whole DIY floral thing for the wedding. Can I like come to practice? Honestly, like I feel like I'm pretty alone and in the dark with this, just because like obviously we do have a floral team of friends, but a lot of them who have experience unfortunately can't really help until on the day when they're actually like setting up for us. And then the people are helping me with the markets and the kind of like prep of the flowers don't know anything about flowers. So even though I'm grateful for everyone's help, like no one's an expert. So I was like, I need all the help I can get. Practice with whatever flowers I can see that I like there, and I'm basically just going to try and make like a bouquet. I don't really know their exact plans of what Chris and Becca wanted to do, but I'm going to try and make a bouquet and maybe a boutonniere too. Not only do I not know anything about flowers, I'm not also a great arts and craft person. I just want to give myself that little bit of like mental head start of like, you can do it. Like, you know, you can buy the floral equipment later if you do this, because I was thinking of buying the floral equipment before the trial just to get it over and done with. But genuinely, I just like wasn't confident enough to walk into the store and be like, I know what equipment I want. I have this, which I have no idea where it's from. And I have a denim skirt, which is from my mum.
These are the flowers I ended up getting. So I got white, lilac, pink and red, and these are Rebecca's. This is the bouquet once everything has been trimmed, so I haven't actually arranged it, but I feel like the color scheme does work nicely. I think because the red is so bright, I would have preferred more of the whites, but they're quite small, so I kind of have to make do with a brighter bouquet, but otherwise I would love some white filler. I actually didn't realize that the flower markets were more expensive than I thought. Like I kind of assumed that they would be like $5 a bunch, but a lot of them were actually a lot more than that, like up to 15. I feel like it only made about the size of a bridesmaid bouquet, so I would definitely want mine to be bigger. I think in the camera it looks a bit larger than it is in real life, but it's actually not too big. If a bridesmaid were holding it, it'd be like this. And I would like it to have more of a touch of orange, so next time I can keep that in mind, or even yellow. And I feel like it does give off the vibe of the summer flowers that I've been looking at, so I'm pretty proud of it. Like, it did take me a few goes before I was really happy with how it turned out, and I used every single flower that I got. So it only really made up one bouquet. I have to remember that one bunch of all the colors that I want will make up one bridesmaid bouquet, which means that for mine, I kind of need like even more. So I definitely learned some things, and I also first sticky taped it with masking tape and then went over it with more white ribbon, and then did an actual white ribbon where I tied it. But Rebecca had to do it for me because I've always been really bad at tying. So hopefully my friends on the day before the wedding can tie ribbons properly. But this is how it turned out. I just wanted to show you guys before I put it into a vase so that it doesn't die too soon. Here's what I got from work, and I just wanted to test out what it's like to kind of sit inside the pocket. You definitely need them longer. I obviously cut them too short, but I didn't have the plastic as reference when I was at her place. Idea definitely works to just like keep everything in place. We're trying to print our wedding signs and it's so confusing. We've decided on this for guess who, A2. welcome sign, A1. Yeah, it actually is a lot different, but it's A1 and 2. It's not even, there's no in between.
2 A4s fit in an A3. Also,
We've just spent almost a couple hours in here and gotten nowhere.
I don't even know what daylight looks like anymore.
Perfect.
Why does this feel like there's less? I feel like there's more border there. Is it just me?
We are just designing the sticker that will go on the helper's gifts, which will be a jar of tea. We just picked up our posters from Officeworks. So we have our welcome sign and also the game for the welcome table.
Can we help?
I do not have the names, sorry. I thought I did.
It's okay.
Oh, I'm curious.
Do you want to do that?
Yeah, I just want to check it's done right.
I'm gonna pack the other stuff.
Whoa! Oh my gosh, I already dropped
There's
it.
2 of them.
This is our welcome sign and
This
the
is
welcome game. Yay!
our welcome game.
We can put it in the frame so that it's completely straightened out. Yay, the welcome table game. That looks so good. So we're going to be placing these diamonds on the actual glass. This is the table easel from Kmart. Looks pretty cute. Whoa. Placing it on. Ooh, that looks so good. Wow. Setting up for the welcome sign. Whoa. Looking good. He's nearly done.
Yeah, it's supposed to be over.
Woohoo! It's actually a lot bigger than I expected. What do you think?
It's the right size though, right?
Yeah,
It fits the easel.
it does. It's good.
Because you were gonna go smaller.
That's true. Yeah, it's good. Good job. High five. I don't know if it's just me, but I've honestly never been so up and down when planning an event. Like, some days I'll feel like we're progressing and really getting somewhere and just being productive as a team together. And then others, I'm like, okay, now I feel like someone in the wedding party's upset, or I feel like I need to organize this better logistically, or I feel like this isn't completely done properly yet and I haven't really thought it through. And it's kind of just such an up and down process. And I suppose that's normal because our period of engagement is 11 months and people do even longer these days. But it's kind of just like, can we have like a period of time that lasts over a week where I'm feeling good about the wedding planning? Apparently not. But I feel like there's just days where Bill and I are productive, we tick things off the to-do list, and then there's other days where it's kind of just like, what are we doing again? Like, what was there to do again? Do we really have to do this? I'm kind of too lazy to do this right now. Or we need to think about what this person thinks of what we're doing, and we need to gather people's opinions so that everyone's happy, that kind of jazz. So everything's kind of just frustrating. I'm glad that I have this video as an outlet. Like, I'm trying to complain less this year, and so I really don't want to like go to 5 million friends and be like, hey, this happened to me. I just kind of want to sit with it and be like emotionally prepped for whatever is to come. Having such a big wedding as well, like there's definitely pressure to kind of please everyone involved and to just not cut ties with people or not make anything too toxic. Even though we're almost 5 months away and we do have, I guess, like ample time, but not like a lot of time, it's kind of just like, it is going by quite fast. And I feel like these 5 months will definitely go faster than the last 5 months have. So I think it's just time to really try and lock in, even though work is getting busier. So I've had to juggle a lot more work tasks than usual, like triple the work that I usually get. So I'm trying to really get used to it. Mum and I are heading into Spotlight to look at the fake flowers. So we're gonna take a look for both the bridal shower and the wedding day because I want an assortment of fakes. Bridal shower would definitely be all fake, and wedding day will be partly fake. Like I would say like 50. What? Excuse me. Take that back. So do you not like Bill?
Bill is fake.
Why are you roasting me? I'm going to get this one for 13 bucks. It's pretty long, so it can be used for the plants at the stage. And it's the most unique, so even though it's expensive, I just thought that you never really see this blue color that much, and I kind of like the pop of unique color. Testing out different vases.
Or really cups.
But they're actually cups, yeah.
It's got nice short stems.
Oh yeah, that looks actually good. And like on the day, they'll be mostly real, so it will obviously droop over.
Yeah, you can always
That's
trim
nice. Yeah.
it to actually fit.
Like this does look more, I guess, like sophisticated, but like for the price, it actually doesn't look bad. Like I can definitely see it in there. It's just that it won't be so straight because it won't be fake. But it definitely looks good. Like the fact that it's a cup, it still looks good.
You can always trim it.
This is just like $30 more expensive. So yeah, I can see how this is more worth it.
Every dollar counts.
Yeah.
We are 5 months away, and I know it sounds dramatic because it's just an event. It's something that only privileged people can do, but I am feeling honestly depressed. Like, I'm not just stressed or just anxious at this point. Like, I feel like I'm genuinely just sad and just down about planning the wedding and having so much stress, so many opinions, so much drama, and just not having space to really have breathing time. I try and do at least once a week of kind of breathing time, like cleaning my room, for example, which helps clear my mind. But it's just been so frustrating because no matter what I do, I feel guilty about doing it. I often don't really feel supported. I feel like people just want to throw in their opinion and expect me to follow them instead of just what I want to do and how we're planning the wedding. And everything is just so up in the air, especially when it comes to work busyness. Obviously, I need to prioritize my 9 to 5, and everything is just getting really frustrating. So I hope I feel better about it soon, but I feel like this whole year so far has been so stressful and just hasn't really been as fun as you'd expect it to be.
We are just on the way to do our weekly wedding planning. So this week it's in the form of physically shopping. We're just going to Kmart to see if we can get the cups, which are going to be the vases for the flowers, and also going to take a look at the ring shop we went to again, because I went in for one of my rings. I just saw it online and I thought it would be nice. But then Bill thought that if they can make a similar design to what he was looking at another shop for his ring, then this shop just had more value with like the type of diamond they use and just how they make it. So he is going to look into any rings that they might have for him this time, and I'm going to basically confirm with them that I want the ring that I tried on. So that's pretty exciting, because if I do end up at least just confirming with them that I want my ring, then we can tick something off the list and they can make my ring. And we'll also just see what else there is to do. I feel like a lot of our errands or tasks right now are mainly to do with things we have to do online, not necessarily physical as much, but usually we go to Kmart at least weekly. So this is our first time this week going, and usually Thursdays is basically just reserved for wedding planning if I haven't said that already. So I'm keen to just have a little late afternoon out and to just kind of relax a little bit and try and feel a bit more practically productive.
Hello, what you're about to see is the wedding ring video that I actually started and also attached some clips from yesterday. It's just that the video, if I released one about the rings separately, would have only been about 1.5 minutes. So obviously not really worth it to post as a separate video here. So I wanted to just add it into this video instead. It basically just chronicles a little bit of our wedding ring shopping journey. And yesterday we actually did end up putting our deposits down for both our rings. So it turned out that they could do Bill's ring that he originally got quoted at another store, but for about $600 cheaper. So obviously it was way more worth it. So we decided to go with this store, Ernesto Bueno in Westwood, Parramatta. A great place, great service, and actually a 5-star Google rating too. So it's pretty cool. And we actually met the boss himself last time, Ernesto, and he was actually trained in Italy in ring making and then basically moved to Sydney and now just has his own store here. We were just really excited and keen to just tick something off the list. And I also bought my Lavisa travel rings afterwards because I found this pack for $38, and basically I am going to do click and collect, so I didn't have to pay for the shipping as well. And it just looks like very similar to my ring, but a little bit bigger because unfortunately they only have small to medium sizing, not extra small. It also has a wedding band with diamonds. So it looked very, very similar for cheap. And basically when I go traveling in the future, like for our honeymoon, I'm going to wear that instead. And it's just really, really great to finally have something ticked off. We were really happy about finding Ernesto as well. I'm so glad it just happened to come up from a Google search, and we both got our rings. So this next clip is going to be just us going through that process, and then at the end of the video you guys will see just us in the Ernesto store yesterday.
Welcome to our wedding ring shopping video. I know it's not as significant as the engagement ring, but that's why I wanted to film, because I feel like there's just not much footage on wedding rings in general online. So here's a bit of insight into our shopping. This was our second time shopping. First time didn't vlog, but we went to Michael Hill, and then we went into GS Diamonds, which is where Bill actually got my engagement ring. So we just thought it might have better matches. And Bill was pretty set on one style, but in two different types of shades, whereas I got this whole stack of rings at first and only really settled on one. I love this specific design, but maybe just a little bit smaller. So I'm still thinking. Like this. Yeah, that looks really nice. And then it'll be this size. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah, I think that looks
Yeah, you
really
like
nice.
it?
Yeah.
It's blends in nicely. with
Yeah.
the ring.
Yeah,
It like
yeah.
almost looks like
Doesn't
it's on the
take
same
away,
place.
but it's
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we're gonna do platinum.
Yeah. This is a cube.
Yeah.
It goes over a bit easier. I mean, it feels comfortable though. But I'm worried
And won't
it
fall.
might slip out because
Oh,
it doesn't
okay.
really
Yeah.
like over my joints.
Yeah.
This is a P. Oh, even P fits. Oh, but if I clamp.
But that looks like it's not going down. Like you have this part that's not. It's not. It should be here.
What there? My finger doesn't even go down there.
Oh, never mind.
Oh,
I don't know. That
that's-
doesn't look like it fits that well.
It's more secure, but
I think this is one of the new ones.
let's hope.
Yes.
Doesn't focus.
It's focusing on me.
Okay. And it has preferential treatment.